Yeah, and today we're back with the ladies again, right? Chic critique, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My wife and I were having a discussion last week. Talking, relationship stuff, and I brought up the fact that women don't hold other women accountable, and her counterpoint was, "Yes, we do. We just don't do it in public." Said, okay, yeah, right. I don't believe it because I've seen this stuff, and the sister code is real or whatever. But hey, you know what? I'm open to the possibility that I could be wrong. Wise man once said that, and I think we're about to see some accountability from the ladies here on She Critique. So look, we don't need to hold back anymore. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's see what happens.
With the bad guy, and that's why you got in a situation. And in actuality, I feel like I dealt with a great man, and it just did not work. It's not. I think they have this narrative that we all mess with that bad guy who was something, wasn't a good guy, and we ended up pregnant. When some of us were really good catches, really
They
good
think that all of them are Pookie and Ray
guys.
Rays.
Ray
Like,
Ray.
Yeah, no, that's a big misconception. A lot of the times, it's just a situation where the relationship doesn't work out. Um, I mean, you could argue that the bigger issue that men are, men like myself are concerned about is you didn't marry before you had the child. That is a big issue, single parenthood, and then, but also is that you're having a baby with a man who doesn't want to have a baby. That should be a red flag, because it leads to that. Okay, look, we're getting off topic here because that's a whole nother video, and at some point I'm gonna have to make that. I'm gonna have to address that. But right now, again, we're talking with the ladies, so we're here to hear their perspective, and I'll come back
that
later.
your baby daddy was a Pookie or Ray Ray.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's quite the
Yeah,
opposite for
quite
some
the
people.
opposite. We actually planned our daughter. Like we planned. Like I detoxed for 30 days. Like he wanted his daughter. We had our wedding date set. We were engaged, so we just went ahead and did it. It was that, he was a cool guy. He just wasn't a cool guy for me, I guess. So it didn't work out. But that's
She seems so cavalier about it, and it's probably because I've never heard her talk about this. So it's probably it may be less of her being cavalier and more of her nervous about sharing her own story. Because I mean, you saying this on YouTube, literally thousands of people are going to see it. You may not be open to having that much of your personal life on YouTube. I'm not. My wife and I, we had that discussion. She doesn't want to be on YouTube, so she's gonna stay off. That's why. And same thing with the kids. We're not putting them on YouTube. So totally understandable. It's just like I said, I noticed that I've heard her speak. I've heard Lady Mogulette speak before, and this is the first time that I'm noticing her voice is different. It's definitely different.
that's how it goes sometimes.
I wonder if that rhetoric just comes from women who demonize a partner that it hasn't worked out with, or is it
Mhm.
men who want
Oh, the ladies are nodding their heads. Y'all see that? Uh-oh.
to
Okay.
look at themselves as better than, who kind of spin that? I'm curious where this rhetoric comes from. Like, I'm not a mom myself, so like I can't speak from my own experience, but I'd love to hear, because you ladies are saying your experience is totally different. So where does this narrative come from?
Hold on. Earlier I did a video where this lady, Inez, I think that's her name, was talking about all these single moms. The single moms have all these options. She not a mom. How she know? So, man, okay, we're gonna keep moving. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that other video.
I feel like it does come from that initial,
Narrative. I'm
like,
sorry. What's
sorry.
what's the narrative? I just want to follow along.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
The narrative of, a woman becomes a single mom because she's dealing with a bad guy, that, like, it's either a Pookie or Ray Ray, or somebody who's abusive, or was a narcissist, because that's the popular thing to talk about. Like, there's always this narrative of the other partner being bad, right? So where does that come from if that's not a common experience?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it is a common experience. And when I went before,
See how see how her voice is different now. She's more confident in what she's saying. I think what we were watching before was a preview, so I think we're still going to get to that point. But she's speaking very confidently about what she's talking about. There's no indecisiveness.
before I healed from what was taking place between my daughter's father and I when we had our communication breakdown, I could say that I was in a space where I was playing victim. Not to say there weren't things that didn't call for that, but I think that does happen a lot when we as women choose wrong and then feel bamboozled and then act as though we didn't choose that person for ourselves.
Bam, she said it right there. It's in color and we have it recorded. It's on YouTube. You guys go watch this show. It's exactly what I told you. Women holding other women accountable. And she just ate a big chunk of humble pie right there. It takes a lot to admit that. And we're not gonna just walk right by it because it's important. Now, because again, that's the first step in the healing process. So obviously she mentioned that this was before, and obviously we're in the after now. So that's insinuates some kind of healing had to take place. Very powerful stuff. Very powerful. High level conversation. I love it. Let's go.
And so we then turn around and be like, oh, he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. No, he just was a bad guy for you. Like you guys brought
100%. 100%. That's what's going on. A lot of times that's what's happening, and we just fail. Our ego won't let us admit to that. It's, well, I'm perfect in my head and he's not matched. He doesn't match with me because he's a bad guy. And let's be honest, men do this too. I'm the man. She's just a hoe. You still picked her. Don't act like that, dude. Cause you weren't talking that stuff before y'all had issues. You weren't talking about that. So no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Brought that out of each other. So now that he was a bad guy for you, you want to make it seem like he's a bad guy in general when y'all just weren't meant for each other, or
Facts.
we just weren't meant for each other. And because we were out of order in how we were dealing with each other, things unfolded the way they did. But he's the same guy that he was when you met him. Maybe, give or take a few things that he may have learned from the experience with you, but he's the same person. So I think it does happen. I mean, it does happen, like, where I feel like even when guys introduce us to their representatives, like, that's on us. We supposed to discern. We supposed to vet properly. We supposed to figure certain things out. So if we don't, it's just on us. So,
oh man, she is killing it right now, and I agree 100%. Now, at some point, we got to start having a conversation about the vetting process, because believe it or not, I don't put if women are left to their own devices to vet a man, and she doesn't get it right, I don't put all the onus on her. Because in general, women are not that great at picking guys. You know who is great at picking guys though? Dads. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, a guy who's half my age is gonna have a hard time pulling the wool over my eyes just because I was him. So yeah, and I will 100% be, like I said, I have daughters, so I will 100% be vetting the guys that that they're dating or they want to date or court, 100%. Because like I said, now the other side of it, because we've all talked about that before. The thing we don't talk about is that guys, believe it or not, you have an untapped resource in your mother when it comes to vetting a potential wife. Now, I'm not saying that. Well, let's rephrase that. What I am saying is that at some point, the woman that you're seeing and your mother need to have a one-on-one conversation. They need to be able to sit down and talk. Why? Because women don't fall for other women's BS, right? Because women, heterosexual women, don't care how fine she is. Like, that stuff doesn't mean anything to them. Same thing with the guys. I don't care how fine he is. That ain't mean nothing to me. Is he responsible? Does he have character? That's what I'm going to judge my daughter's potential men. That's what I'm going to judge their potential husbands off of. How much character you got? And if I sniff out that you ain't about nothing, okay, well then yeah, she stand here with me. I'm not handing her over to your protection. That's not gonna work. So, but yeah, mothers are very good at that. They can test a woman's femininity without it blowing up, without you doing it. Because if you try and do it, a lot of times women will blow up in you. But let your mom do it. Let her have a conversation with your mom. Let her have a few conversations with your mother. If she passed the mother test, there you go. Because remember, as a man, the only woman who loves you unconditionally is your mother. She wants the best for you. Why not let them have a conversation? Now, does that mean that you're going to let your mother pick your wife? No, you shouldn't do that. You should 100% be able to do that. All I'm saying is that it's good to seek outside counsel of a woman, particularly your mother. But we're getting way off topic here, okay? But that stuff had to be said because it's a side conversation in relation to the general topic here. But let's get back to it.
Well, I do feel like that happens when we like kind of put ourselves in a place of like victim and don't really call it for what it is, which is just the fact that the person that we selected just wasn't the person we were supposed to have selected for ourselves in that way.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And I love, like you, I think you kind of like, you said it perfectly, like in those words. Because as I stated, like the person, the father of my child, he was my high school sweetheart, and we went separate ways. And as I said, I doubled back to something that I thought I wanted, trying to make him into the person, because we were still friends and we were really great friends, because he was a great person, or what I thought. He just wasn't the person, meant for me, or, right, how we kind of use the term or the phrase, right person, wrong time.
Translation: he was your friend so he could have sex with you. And once he started having sex with you, then you got to see the real him. Friendships, men and women can't be friends. That's just, no.
So it's like he was still the same person that he was, and it's just like I expected it to be something different, and he wasn't showing up, to be that person that I had kind of made him out to be in my own head.
Yeah, because he just wanted you for sex. Men definitely compartmentalize women like that. He didn't see you as a wife. He just saw you as somebody to have sex with. It's sad to say, but she just told you that's what's happened. That's what she said happened. They were friends before, then they got together, and she wasn't like she wasn't seeing him be a potential husband. So all of a sudden they got a fallout going on. Yeah, why wasn't he a potential husband? Because he didn't see her marrying her.
But
for me, I think that the knowledge I have today, it would have been a little different than in the past, because I'm not an adventurous. Well, back in the day, I'm a little bit more adventurous now, but in the past, I was not. So when it was time to move for career change, because my child's father is that career guy. He is the epitome of that go-getter. He is going to get it. That has always been him, but I didn't see it. I'm more of a country girl, I like my space. I like the South. I know it's so old school, but that's just how I am. And he was a northern guy. Like, look, we got to move to so and so and so and so. And I'm like, no, we don't. We can stay right here. But that's where opportunity was. And so that distance kind of, so it had nothing to do with our personality, so to speak. It was really just distance. He had a bigger dream, a bigger goal, and it worked out great for him, but I'm just a Southern girl who just.
Okay, so I want to address what she's talking about now, because a lot of women find themselves in Shan Mona. Your name is Shantae. Stop playing. But anyway, a lot of women find themselves in that predicament, and they want the high value man, but a lot of times they're not willing to put up with the lifestyle that comes with that. High value men are going to work. They are workaholics, and they're always striving to be the best, and they're willing to do what it takes to be successful. Like she talked about moving. It sounds like he moved to another part of the country. Yeah, they're going to go where the money is. All right. And you have to be willing to deal with that. She wasn't. And I think I've seen her on this show before talking about, well, we won't get into that. We're going to stay focused on the video. But my recap on this is a great video. You guys need to go subscribe to Lapeef JR, the channel. And we're going to be definitely looking at some more from She Critique, because like I said, these women hold other women accountable. And I'll be the first to admit it. My wife was right. Women do hold other women accountable. But the caveat is that we got to start seeing that more on camera, because what we see on camera now is that, well, women are delusional. And then the actions on camera back that up. And women don't hold other women accountable. It's the sister code, and no matter how wrong a woman is, they're never going to admit her being wrong. Clearly, that's not the narrative. And we discovered that today. So we need more women who are, we didn't get it here. We didn't really get it in this video, but we need more women who are wives to start speaking up. Because that's part of, the gender war is dumb, and part of the reason it is because there's too much mystery going on between men and women. We need more representation of married couples on YouTube, so we can start demystifying these differences that are between us and figure out how we can work together to coexist. Because remember, at the end of the day, we need each other. Okay, relationships are about compromise. So how are we going to fit things together if the women and men who are doing that and who are doing it successfully never say anything? Again, that's why I started this channel, because we need more average people speaking up. All right, guys, this was a great clip. Man, I love the conversation here, but we're going to leave it there. I'm going to say goes to the next time. Thanks for making it to the end of this video, but do me another favor, like and subscribe, but also check out these here. Either subscribe or watch videos, one or the other. I don't know which side, but hey, all right.